This is the Democrat Party. Pro-algae protests on the Lincoln Party. Why? Because they hate Trump and they want his renovations of the reflecting pool to fail. So much so that they have people vandalizing it. So far, 6 people, as of this afternoon, have been arrested and 5 people issued citations for some form of vandalism and or just call it unruly actions regarding the monument. Trump's ready to bring the receipts, too.
I can't help it if somebody goes in with a knife and starts hacking it up. And we also have pictures of it. You know, we have
Can you
pictures.
release the photos?
Yeah, at the right time you'll see it. You'll see it in court.
But Whoopi maintains that this is all just Trump's fault.
He is claiming that vandals are to blame. He says they illegally placed chemicals in the water. It seems to me that had he not messed with the pool, you know, it would still be a reflecting pool instead of a liquid jungle.
But it was even more of a liquid jungle before Trump did any of the renovations. And also, he stopped it from leaking. Like, this ought to age like more milk. What is she going to say when we find out in court, as Trump said, that he was right again? But check this out. This was the single broadcast, not wall-to-wall coverage, the single broadcast we could find on it from 2012.
It's really sludgy up this end.
And what's in it?
It's disgusting. It's not right.
Algae, after a $34 million renovation that lasted nearly 2 years. But less than a month later, the famous pool of water is full of algae.
Trying to think, who was president in 2012? Oh, that's right, Barack Obama. So, but now that they've done all this stuff and people keep screwing it up, they now have to have the National Guard literally guarding a national monument because liberals can't be trusted to not destroy things. Look, if you haven't been following this, it's the craziest study. It is like the case study in how nuts the left has become. The reflecting pond prior to Trump was leaking 16 million gallons a year. It was full of algae and all messed up for the last few decades. So Trump decides he doesn't go in there. He's going to do his building stuff and fix it, along with a bunch of other stuff that he's been fixing in D.C. that was falling into disrepair. And when he does that, people started cutting the bottom just to say that it was still leaking and not. Whoopi Goldberg never said a word when Obama spent $34 million and literally fixed nothing. And now they're making a big deal about algae as if it was like some major failure by Trump. Look, would it have hurt to throw some chemicals in there? I think they did throw some, but not. I mean, like, probably not to spend the money now that they have this headache in the media. Apparently, the people who did put some chemicals in either didn't know what they were doing or didn't put enough of them because now there's algae again. Newsflash, algae grows in stagnant water. Would you same libs support, I don't know, maybe a new filtration system? Like, this is front page news? Like, this warrants the first 9 minutes of my show at 6 p.m.? I don't think so, but I have to address it at this point. But MS Now apparently thinks it's the most important story ever.
We might call it the president's Green Watergate. Yesterday, we showed you what a leaky, peeling, algae-infested mess the reflecting pool in Washington has become, thanks to Donald Trump's obsessive, costly attempts to turn it into a monument to, let's be honest here, his own brilliance.
This guy couldn't keep a goldfish alive. I don't even know why he's talking. Dude, Trump is trying to clean up D.C. You never aired a second of this when it was leaking and full of sludge and smelled like low tide under other presidents. But now that it does, or I should say it doesn't leak, but has some algae, you suddenly care. Okay. Apparently, also now somebody dumped a dead duck in there. And they took pictures of it to make it seem like, Trump's killing ducks. No, this is so dumb. Golly.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.